Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me now? I don't know what's happening. Kevin said, I'm sitting here talking and telling you how I'm so super excited that it's 11:30 and I'm here on the dot 11:30. Can you hear me now? You hear me? Good. Okay, good. All right, so I said hello, video. Let me just try to think. Hello, video. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Margot, the Captain Lee fan. Hello, what was I going to say? Everyone. And video, yes, I got the RAM. You got it today, this afternoon, late. Tomorrow I have to work on a sponsored project. It's pretty big, so it's with, Mr. B. So for his stuff, and I have to do that. That's tomorrow. So we're gonna do that, and then after Thursday, if I don't go out of town, we'll do it. We've got to take everything apart and all that stuff. So yeah, hold on a minute. My doggies want to go outside now. The dryer, everything is going crazy at the same time. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. A million things going on, laundry, everything. All right. So then I've got that, but I will check that out. And then I was saying, what did I do today? So I had to answer a lot of emails, and this is the part I was at. I told you guys that I was taking some time off for the holidays. I'll probably take off through New Year's from doing the interviews because it's too much with everything, and then I'll resume interviews. I've already been setting them up for, like probably the second half of January to start there. And that, and then there's the sponsored projects and stuff that are coming like right in the first quarter of the new year. So I did a bunch of that today. I also tried to get some stuff ready to put up at least the two trees, the one in the kitchen, the one in the family room. And I did get a bunch done. I was going to bake. I got down a rabbit hole with this lady that I've been watching, and I didn't realize she had a baby. Well, it'd be 2 years ago, but she had this horrendous birth story. I got into that. She's somebody that's cooking online. So I was watching that, got down a rabbit hole with her. While I was answering email, I had it playing in the background. So then I did some crafting. I'm trying to make a putz house from this Dollar Tree ornament. Hold on. Now they want to come in. This is crazy. This is all discombobulated, but so I got down a rabbit hole with that, but I was making a putz house, and I'll see how it comes out of a Dollar Tree. They have these plastic houses, not the ones that you think. They were ornaments. And I was able to pop the back off. I built the house out. I'm going to finish it first. Then if it comes out good, I'll show it to you and do another one because I have another one to do. But I want to make the prototype first, and I'm almost done with it. I'm at the painting stage of it. Then I've got to glitter it, put it on the base, add the little bottle brush trees and things like that. Then I can show it to you. So I was working on that today. Then we had dinner when the kids got home, and we did that. What else did we do? My daughter called at least 2 times. So that was that. And then, yeah, we did, of course, the washer again. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, just I didn't get the trees up, but I did get, that one floral arrangement I keep on the end of my island that I switch out the flowers and the decor in it every season. I switched it over from fall Thanksgiving to now it's Christmas, and it has a little elf and these jingle bell branches, which are really nice. So I did that. So I did get that done. And tomorrow it's easy to put the kitchen tree up, and then hopefully this weekend we'll all put the one up in the family room. The stockings are all ready to be hung. They're up here, and so I just have to. That's simple, and we'll get there. Anyway, what do you got? Instant Pot. What'd you do? Instant Pot sold quick today? Oh, you sold the Instant Pot? Is that what you're saying? Instant Pot. Hold on a minute. Instant Pot sold quick today. Oh, you sold it. Okay. Get out of here. What's not fair? A video? What's not fair? But I want to make the Spritz cookies, and I really was going to make it. I was almost going to make them tonight, but I don't know. Let's see. So Luigi Mangione was indicted on first-degree murder and terrorism charges. Rex Heuermann, I watched that. There was a press. There was a press conference because there's been a 7th murder that he's been charged with, and we're going to talk about who that is. And then there were some updates on the Christian school shooting, that 15-year-old girl who ended up taking her own life. 15 years old, a girl, just craziness, right? I'm making time for crafts. Yeah, you got it. Okay, let me go over here. And I know how everybody loves my typing, so I have to do it. They all love it. You all love it. Okay, so Luigi Mangione has been charged with murder as an act of terrorism. Prosecutors said Tuesday as they worked to bring him to a New York court from a Pennsylvania jail. Luigi Mangione already was charged with murder in the December 4th killing of Brian Thompson, but the terror allegation is new. Under New York law, such a charge can be brought when an alleged crime is intended to intimidate or coerce a civilian population, influence the policies of a unit of government by intimidation or coercion, and affect the conduct of a unit of government by murder, assassination, or kidnapping. Mangione's New York lawyer has not commented on his case. The CEO, Brian Thompson, was shot dead as he was walking to a Manhattan hotel where a United Healthcare investor conference was being held. The 26-year-old was charged with Pennsylvania gun and forgery offenses and locked up there without bail. His Pennsylvania lawyer has questioned the evidence for the forgery charge and the legal grounding for the gun charge. The attorney also has said Mangione would fight extradition to New York. That is so crazy, because if you watch the press conference with that attorney, and I urge you to watch it, he said, do you know they're reporting that we're fighting extradition to New York, and that is false? Do you see how careful you have to? This is what his lawyer said, but it's still being reported as such. I don't even understand. The indictment could help move along procedural steps towards extraditing the suspect. Hours after his arrest, Manhattan District Attorney's Office filed paperwork charging him with murder and other offenses. The indictment builds on that. Investigators' working theory is that Mangione, an Ivy League computer science grad from a prominent Maryland family, was propelled by anger at the U.S. healthcare system. A law enforcement bulletin obtained by the Associated Press last week said that when arrested, he was carrying a handwritten letter that called health insurance companies parasitic and complained about corporate greed. Mangione repeatedly posted on social media about how he had a spinal surgery last year and it had eased his chronic back pain, encouraging people with similar conditions to speak up for themselves if someone says just to live with it. And then he wrote on a message board, "We live in a capitalistic society. I found that the medical industry responds to these keywords far more urgently than you describing unbearable pain and how it's impacting your quality of life." He was never a United Healthcare client, according to the insurer. Mangione apparently cut himself off from his family and close friends in the recent months leading up to this. His family reported him missing, his mother actually it was, to San Francisco authorities in November. So now he's got the murder as an act of terrorism. Okay, let's see what else we have. If there's anything else. Let me get this. Here's the actual on the Manhattan. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin L. Bragg Jr. and New York City Police Department Commissioner Jessica S. Tisch today announced the indictment of Luigi Mangione, 26, for the murder of 50-year-old United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside of the Hilton Hotel in Midtown on December 4th, 2024. Mangione is charged in New York State Supreme Court indictment with one count of murder in the first degree, in furtherance of terrorism, 2 counts of murder in the second degree, one of which is charged as killing as an act of terrorism, 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, 4 counts of criminal possession of a weapon in the third degree, 1 count of criminal possession of a weapon in the fourth degree, and 1 count of criminal possession of a forged instrument in the second degree. We allege that Luigi Mangione carried out the brazen, targeted, and fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Midtown Manhattan. This type of premeditated, targeted gun violence cannot and will not be tolerated, and my office has been working day in and day out to bring the defendant to justice, said District Attorney Bragg. I want to extend my heartfelt prayers to Mr. Thompson's loved ones as they continue to grieve. The ongoing investigation is this product of an incredible partnership at all levels with the NYPD, and I want to thank Commissioner Tisch and the prosecutors and detectives who worked collaboratively to apprehend Mr. Mangione. He is now charged in a New York State Supreme Court indictment with 3 counts of murder and faces a maximum penalty of life in prison without parole. We have taken a significant step toward achieving justice for Brian Thompson and his family, stated NYPD Commissioner Jessica S. Tisch. I applaud our dedicated NYPD investigators for their relentless work in identifying the suspect and their unwavering commitment to seeing this crucial case through to its resolution. And I express my gratitude to the attorneys at the Manhattan District Attorney's Office for their collaboration in bringing this case forward. Additionally, I extend my thanks to everyone who saw something, said something, and did something. This highlights the critical role of the public in the NYPD's public safety mission, and it is because of this that we have a murder suspect in custody today. According to court documents and statements made on the record, Mangione arrived at a Port Authority on a bus on November 24th of 2024 and checked into the High New York City hostel on the Upper West Side. Mangione used a fake New Jersey ID under the name of Mark Rosario. Mangione extended his stay at the hostel multiple times. On the morning of December 4th, Mangione left the hostel at 5:34 a.m. and traveled to Midtown using an e-bike. Between 5:52 a.m. and 6:45 a.m., Mangione walked near and around the Hilton Hotel. At approximately 6:15 a.m., he purchased a water bottle and granola bars at the Starbucks at 1290 6th Avenue. Between approximately 6:38 a.m. and 6:44 a.m., Mangione stood against a wall on the north side of West 54th Street across from the Hilton, fully masked with his hood up. At 6:45 a.m., Mangione crossed the street to the Hilton Hotel and, armed with a 9mm 3D printed ghost gun equipped with a silencer, approached Mr. Thompson from behind and shot him once in the back and once in the leg. Mangione then fled northeast on 54th Street, took an e-bike uptown. He eventually got into a taxi and was dropped off at West 178th Street and Amsterdam Avenue, and then fled the state. Mr. Thompson was transported to Mount Sinai Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 7:12 a.m. 2 of the discharged shell casings had the words "deny and depose" written on them, and the word "delay" was written on a bullet, all found at the scene. On December 9th, Mangione was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania, after being spotted at a local McDonald's. When he was arrested, police recovered a 9mm handgun with a 3D printed receiver, 2 ammunition magazines, multiple live cartridges, a homemade silencer, and the fake New York ID used at the hostel. The case is being prosecuted by Assistant DAs Joel Seidenman, Kristen Bailey, Zachary Kaplan, under the supervision of Assistant DA Christopher Prevost, Deputy Chief of the Trial Division, and Executive Assistant DA Lisa Del Pizzo, Chief of the Trial Division. Trial Preparation Assistant Louis Barber, Theodore Bellick, Amanda Shaw, Analyst Nicole Boudreau, Anissa Weissel, Christina Valialtos, and the High Technology Analysis Unit, including Stephen Moran and Marco Papik, are all assisting with the case. DA Bragg thanked Detective Oscar Diaz of the Manhattan South Homicide, Lieutenant Dave Leonardi, I'm sorry. It's not your relative, Kevin. I thought it was. Manhattan South Homicide, Lieutenant Frank Grandiosi, and Detective James Curcio. Governor Kathy Hochul, Josh Shapiro, the Altoona Police Department, the Blair County District Attorney's Office, the FBI, and the FBI Cellular Analysis Team. Okay, defendant Luigi Mangione is charged with murder in the first degree of Class A, 1 felony, 1 count murder in the second degree of Class A, 1 felony, 2 counts, criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree as a Class C felony, 2 counts criminal possession of a weapon in the third degree, a Class D felony, 4 counts criminal possession of a weapon in the fourth degree, a Class E felony, 1 count criminal possession of a forged instrument in the second degree, a Class D felony, 1 count. The charges contained in the indictment are merely allegations, and the defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. All factual recitations are derived from documents filed in court and statements made on the record in court. So that is the deal with him. Okay, so next we're going to talk about Heuermann, Rex Heuermann, because they had a big press conference, a long press conference on Rex Heuermann today. So let's get that up. What did I just drop here? Oh my goodness. That's not good. Hold on a minute. I just dropped my napkins that I was working with. Okay, I got them. All right, let me get a graphic up here for us, so we know we're on to another case here. So, come on, Rexy. Let's see, let's take this one of Rex. I'm gonna have to make it larger. All right. So let's go in here. Rex Heuermann, the suspect in the Gilgo Beach murders, was charged with the murder of a 7th victim in a new superseding indictment released on Tuesday in Suffolk County Court. Rex Heuermann was charged with second-degree murder in the murder of Valerie Mack. Her partial remains were found November of the year 2000 on Long Island, of course, in New York. Heuermann's response was, and I quote, "Your Honor, I am not guilty of any of these charges." And he was shaking his head no. Valerie Mack was a 24-year-old Philadelphia mother. She worked as an escort at the time that she went missing. The Mack family is emblematic of the other families in this case who have steadfast stood by their loved ones and zealously guarded their memories, said Suffolk County District Attorney Raymond Tierney. Attorney Gloria Allred, along with some family members of Heuermann's alleged victims, whom Gloria represents, presented red roses to Valerie Mack's parents on Tuesday. Many of them embraced the parents and shed tears during this emotional moment. "We want the family to know they are not alone in their grief," Gloria Allred said. Michael Brown, who's Heuermann's attorney, said that his client is adamant that he did not do these crimes, and said that Heuermann was surprised by this latest charge. The judge scheduled the next hearing for January 15th. Parts of Valerie Mack's remains were first found in a wooded area of Manorville by a group of hunters with a dog. The dog alerted the hunters to a plastic bag that was wrapped with duct tape and filled with additional bags that were holding human remains, which prompted the hunters to call 911. In May of 2020, prosecutors used a DNA sample from Valerie Mack's remains and worked with local law enforcement a genetic genealogist from the FBI and the Suffolk County Crime Lab, to determine that the remains belonged to Valerie Mack. Human hair found on Valerie Mack's left wrist led prosecutors to the DNA profiles of Heuermann's wife and daughter, Asa Ellerup and Victoria Heuermann. 2 forensic laboratories have now confirmed that hairs recovered on 6 of the 7 alleged victims are forensically tied to Heuermann or members of his immediate family or others he lived with. During the initial investigation in Manorville in 2000, Mack's head, hands, and right foot were not found at the scene and remained missing for approximately 11 more years. In April of 2011, Mack's skull, hands, and right foot were discovered east of Gilgo Beach in Suffolk County, less than 1.5 miles east of where the remains of Jessica Taylor, who Heuermann is also accused of murdering, were found. There were similarities between the cutting instruments that were used to dismember Valerie and Taylor, as well as the garbage bags containing their remains. Investigators seized over 350 electronic devices from Heuermann's residence after his arrest and found a significant collection of violent bondage and torture, according to the document. Investigators also found a Word document that they say Heuermann used to blueprint out and plan out his kills, which was created in 2000. I think we showed you this before, the same year that Valerie Mack was murdered. In the months leading up to Valerie Mack's murder, Heuermann accessed pornographic images featuring breast mutilation and bondage with rope, which coincide with Mack's injuries and how she was found tied up. Raymond Tierney stressed Tuesday that the investigation is ongoing and said, and I quote, "We are here because the Gilgo Task Force has continued to work together to obtain not only evidence for the charged crimes, but has continued to work on other uncharged crimes as well." Heuermann was initially arrested in July of 2023 and charged with the murder and the deaths of 4 women whose bodies were discovered bound with belts or tape and wrapped in burlap along a stretch of Ocean Parkway off Ocean Parkway in Gilgo Beach in 2010. Those victims, Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, Amber Costello, and Maureen Brainerd Barnes, became known as the Gilgo Four. Heuermann pled not guilty to the charges related to all 4. 2 additional second-degree murder charges were added in June 2024 for the deaths of Taylor and Sandra Castilla. Taylor was killed in 2003, Castilla in 1993. Heuermann pled not guilty to those charges as well. The women were among at least 11 sets of remains that were discovered near the waterfront in Long Island, Suffolk County. So that's it. And then he'll be back in court on January 15th. So that leaves us with the latest in that Christian school shooting. So let's see what else we have on that now and see how the Abundant Life Christian School. There was a second grader that called 911. I'm just going to get a graphic up there real quick so we know that we're switching gears. Okay. The motive of the teen shooter, 15-year-old, at Abundant Christian School appears to be a combination of factors, said Police Chief Sean Barnes. The 15-year-old student at the school died when she took her own life. Investigators are looking into her online activity. A teacher and a student were killed in the attack Monday morning at the private Christian school. 6 people were injured, including 2 who have life-threatening injuries. It's a K-12 Christian school that serves about 420 students, and it was planned to close for Christmas vacation after this week. 7th grade student Angel Bruby described being in class when the shooting took place and said, and I quote, "It was very unexpected and it was also very scary. It's really something you wouldn't expect in a small city in Madison, especially not in a Christian school." Angel said he knew the teacher well, who was killed, and had been in her class many times, and said, and I quote, "She was a really good person. She was always very kind and caring, and she was also very friendly and communicative." Angel's father, Mr. Bruby, said he had been at work about a quarter of a mile from the school when he heard the news, and he immediately drove over, hearing police cars blaring past on the way. "As soon as I went in there, I started looking around, and I found one of the teachers. He came and hugged me, and he said, 'Angel is fine.' All the kids were crying. The look on their face is something I will never forget, because it was really sad to see so many kids crying, not knowing what's going to happen and shaking." Natalie Rupnow, who police identified as the 15-year-old female school shooter in Madison, Wisconsin, had a turbulent home life. According to court records, it showed her parents were divorced and remarried multiple times, and that she had been enrolled in therapy. Her parents, Jeff and Melissa Rupnow, have not responded for comments. A candlelight vigil was held in Madison to remember those killed in the school shooting. It was held Tuesday night to remember those who were killed and wounded in Monday's shooting. There were speakers there. One of them was Joe Gothard, who's the Madison Metropolitan School District Superintendent. And he said, "On behalf of our Board of Education and the entire MMSD community, we are heartbroken for the tragedy that happened at Abundant Life Christian School in our beloved city." A Christmas tree decorated for the holiday season was twinkling with lights as mourners held candles, stood around to grieve for those who were shot a day earlier. Kids could be seen hugging therapy dogs. The father of the 15-year-old Madison, Wisconsin school shooter posted a photo to Facebook of his daughter, Natalie, at a shooting range in August. So I don't know. They're not making it very clear, I don't think. That was posted today. It was posted in August, or she was at the shooting range in August. I think that's not very, they should have made that a little clearer. Jeff's cover photo shows Natalie, who went by the name Samantha, shooting a skeet. Natalie can be seen wearing a black shirt with the name of a band, KMFDM. It's a German industrial rock band. Lyrics have also been cited by students who carried out the 1999 massacre at Columbine High School in Colorado, where 13 victims were killed. Okay, so that's odd that he has that as his Facebook cover. I'm sure, I don't think he did that since the shooting, but it's kind of odd that that was his cover photo, right? In a comment, Jeff Rupnow replied to someone who asked if the person in the photo is his child. "Sure is." He said, "We joined NBSC this spring and we have been loving every second of it." North Bristol Sportsman Club is a shooting range in Dane County. Let's see. A teacher, Laura Lundgren, from the Abundant Life Christian School, said the community was shocked and troubled by Monday's shooting. "It's been really troubling for all of us. We're all shocked, as I think anyone would be. We're trying to love our kids well. Most of the people who work there also have kids in the building, and they're all really connected. We know each other well. Every student in the high school I know, I've had as a student or I have currently right now. So I know all the kids that were in that room. We're piecing together what we can and trying to hold each other well. When she was asked about the injured students, she said she knows their moms are prayer warriors and that they are praying hard for their kids. The 2 critically injured students are surrounded by really beautiful communities that are taking care of them. I've heard from people across the world who are praying for these kids and know their families. We're just all together. We're all a very closely knit group of teachers and parents, and we're all here because we want to take care of each other. Okay, let's see here. So this is the home of the shooter right there. The police were outside of. Let's see. The weapon. The U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives is working with the Madison Police Department to help find out how the shooter acquired a handgun. That trace will also help answer other questions like the origin of the weapon, who purchased it, how it got from a manufacturer all the way in the hands of a 15-year-old girl. The mayor of Madison said it's too early to comment on the question of if the parents of the shooter will face criminal charges. Barnes said previously investigators are looking at if the parents may have been negligent, but said that does not appear to be the case. He also said the parents are cooperating, and as of Monday night, investigators have no reason to believe that they have committed a crime at this time. Okay, so here's a correction. It was not a second grade student. See, there's in the early investigation, there's lots of mistakes made. We know that they first reported the shooter to be 17, the shooter's 15. Well, they said a second grade student made the 911 call. That is not correct. Not correct. It came from a second grade teacher. Second grade teacher. Motive is a top priority of police to identify the motive in the shooting. He said it appears to be a combination of factors, but would not give more details. He said investigators are looking through the shooter's online presence and trying to learn new information. It's relatively rare for a school shooter to be female. There's been documented 83 school shootings in 2024, and of the 59 where the gender identity of the suspected shooter was available, only 2 were female. The others involved were either lone male suspects or a group of male suspects. Other sets of data, like the FBI's annual active shooter reports, similarly indicate it is rare for a shooter to be a female, though the methodology behind the FBI's definition of an active shooter incident is notably different than how the media determines what constitutes a school shooting. Dane County Executive Melissa Agard said the laws on gun access by children in Wisconsin are not sufficient. She said, and I quote, "Our laws in Wisconsin are far too lax when it comes to access of guns by children. One day after a shooting at Abundant Life Christian School left 2 people dead and several others wounded, we should have background checks. We should have red flag bills. We should be providing adequate support for everyone in our community when it comes to behavioral health. People should not be waiting when they raise their hand and ask for help. What else we have? Okay, so let's see. I don't see that. I mean, it seems like there's a combination of factors. They're not saying much more about the motive. There was the candlelight vigil. It's not clear if the shooter's parents own the gun or if they could be charged, the police chief says. The teacher killed in the shooting was a full-time staff member. A substitute teacher was wounded. The police chief said he did not think that children should have access to weapons. Really? Yeah, of course not. My goodness, that's a brilliant statement. I do not believe that 15-year-olds should have access to weapons that they can bring to school and potentially hurt someone. Oh, okay, I'm glad that you believe that should not happen. We really have to do a better job, not only in our communities, but in our country, with making sure that our young folks don't have access to weapons and firearms, and certainly making sure that we're paying attention to the mental health of our children. We have asked our partners with the ATF to expedite what's called an ATF trace form to try to determine the origin of that weapon, who purchased it, and how it got from a manufacturer all the way in the hands of a 15-year-old girl. These are questions that are going to take some time to answer. Okay, we went through the timeline last night. All right, so that's all that. Let's see. See if there's anything else different here. This says, every child, every person in that building is a victim and will be a victim forever. We need to figure out and try to piece together what exactly happened. Barnes said people were talking with the shooter's father and other family members who were cooperating, and they were searching the shooter's home. He lost someone as well, Barnes said of the shooter's father, and so we're not going to rush the information. We'll take our time and make sure we do our due diligence. Okay, so that's all that. Now there's a few other updates. That I want to go over. Okay, there's a woman who is missing in New York. She was found sadly deceased. Let me get her picture up there, so in case. It was Oneida County. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office in New York reported that a 25-year-old woman who was missing from the Boonville area last Monday night was discovered deceased in a small creek on Tuesday morning. No additional information was available. Sadly, she is deceased. There was another update that I wanted to, let me see here. Where the heck is the other one that I wanted to? The guy that beat his, remember the case in Fiji? He, let me pull that up because that's, you'll remember it. The Memphis man convicted of killing his bride. She was a pharmacist. Remember, we covered this. They were in Fiji. They were staying at this really, really expensive resort. I'm sure you remember this case because we went over this a lot. Well, he was found guilty. Let's get you a picture here because okay, this was them. They were married February of 2022. This is like so scary. Like some parents were like, "Oh, we're so happy. Our daughter found this person, so wonderful." And then he kills her. It's like crazy. So this Tennessee man was convicted of beating his newlywed wife to death inside a Fiji exclusive island luxury resort as they were on their honeymoon. Bradley Robert Dawson, 40 years old, was found guilty by the High Court in Lautoka on Thursday for the death of his bride, Christy Chen Dawson, after officials believe he attempted to flee the island nation. Christy Chen Dawson was 36 years old. She was found lying in a pool of blood with multiple traumatic injuries, including blunt force trauma to the head, inside her bungalow at the Turtle Island Resort on July 9, 2022. Christy Chen Dawson's body was so badly beaten that her body could not be flown back to the United States. Instead, her family had her cremated and her remains were brought back to her parents in Memphis. The couple married in February of 2022. They were having a heated argument the night before the murder. However, Dawson's attorney said that despite gruesome reports of her death, there is no way he can be convicted of murder. On the evidence that they have presented so far, there is no proof of the charge of murder with intention to kill or premeditation. Nothing of the sort whatsoever. On the face of it, it looks like it's an accident. Bradley Dawson, then 38, was not found until a day after his wife's death, after he kayaked to a remote area of the island. Right? Is that where he went and he was trying to get away? Yeah. Island a mile away from the resort. Dawson was carrying several items, including his passport and other belongings, when officials captured the groom. Because he was carrying his passport, the High Court Justice believed Dawson had intended to flee the country. He pled not guilty to murder charges and claimed his wife's death was an accident. At the time of his capture, Dawson was suspended from his position at the nonprofit Youth Villages, where he worked in the IT department. Hansa ruled Thursday that he believed beyond a reasonable doubt that Dawson was the sole person involved in his wife's murder. For the aforesaid reasons, I am of the opinion that the defense version cannot be believed and the same version is rejected. He said, according to the outlet, having analyzed all the evidence in the totality, I am of the opinion that the prosecution witnesses were all truthful, credible, and reliable in their testimony. From the totality of the evidence, I am satisfied that the prosecution has disproved the defense of provocation. Having considered all the evidence in its totality, I'm of the opinion that the prosecution has proved the charge of murder against the accused beyond a reasonable doubt. Christy Chen Dawson, a recent graduate of the University of Tennessee Health Science Center, was working as a pharmacist at Kroger when she was killed. The convicted murderer will remain in custody until the sentencing hearing on January 27th of 2025. Okay. Get back to the live stream here for a second. All right. Hi, Philly Farmhouse. So how long did she know him before getting married? I don't know how long yet. I mean, that probably maybe you'll see it in my other videos. You have no trust anymore. Yeah, it's hard to have trust, you know, Philly. Scary. How so many people just turn to murder, even though it doesn't work. Hey, UHP developer. Hey. We had a question. You said you were Mr. Electric. Were you the Mr. Electric that used to come here, Mr. Electric? Because that Mr. Electric used to have scuba diving videos on his channel. So then we're not sure if that's the same one. But you have a cool channel. It's lots of electrical stuff. Saw that. Okay. So what else now? I think that was the update I had to tell you about there. Let's see what else. And somebody look for UHP's response because I'm going to miss it. Okay, so let's see. So you might remember, here's another update. This guy. Nearly 6 years after murdering 5 women in Florida, a former prison guard trainee has been sentenced to death on Monday, December 16th. Zephan Xavier, now 27 years old, appeared at the Highlands County Courthouse in Sebring, Florida, where Circuit Judge Angela Cowden handed down his sentence, telling him, "May God have mercy on your soul." Xavier pled guilty to 5 counts of first-degree murder in March of 2023 for the deaths of Cynthia Watson, 65. She had been married less than a month. Marisol Lopez, 55, who was a mother of 2. Anna Pinion Williams, who was a mother of 7. Deborah Cook, 54, who was a mother of 2 and a grandmother. And Jessica Montague, who was a mother of 1 and a stepmother of 4. The women were killed on January 23rd of 2019 after Watson opened fire at SunTrust Bank in Sebring, where Watson, a customer, and the 4 other women employees of the bank were inside. They were fatally shot execution style after he ordered them to lie on the floor. Xavier committed the crimes 2 weeks after quitting his job at the Avon Park Correctional Institution in Avon Park, Florida, where he was in training, per the Associated Press, the New York Times, and Fox 13 News. He was the only employee there. He was only employed there for 2 months. He joined the Army in 2016 and was discharged after 3 months. A former girlfriend who met him at a mental hospital later told police he allegedly said joining the military was a way to kill people and get away with it. A year later, another woman reported to authorities that Xavier allegedly sent her text messages suggesting he would take his own life by cop or take hostages. His sentencing came after a 2-week penalty trial in June, where a jury recommended the death penalty in a 9-3 vote. In Florida, only an 8-juror majority is required for a death sentence to be imposed, and every individual who is sentenced to death receives an automatic appeal to the Florida Supreme Court. His attorney previously argued that he should receive a life sentence due to multiple factors, including his history of mental illness, his benign brain tumor, and his jailhouse embrace of Christianity. According to Fox 13 News, State Attorney Brian Haas said all of the victims' families support seeking the death penalty. So that was another one we had to catch up on. Well, I thought I was going to bake something, and I'm going to have to do it early in the morning because I'm just like, going. So tired. Okay, let's see where I thought I heard a, let's see what here we've got. We have 1 super chat on our goal. 1 out of 10. And the goal ended. Let's see. I didn't see who sent that because let me see. Thank you. It's Margot. Thank you, Margot. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Margot, for supporting our goal there. Jimmy is not up. Jimmy's in bed video. Okay. Let's see. I think maybe we'll just do word cookies and then I'll have to go to bed. I will call your attention to our next court date, which is January 9th. this court battle is extremely, extremely expensive. We are not willing to give up into a default judgment of $100,000. So, this is what we have to do. And if anybody can share the legal fund out, if anybody can donate to the legal fund, no matter what it is, it's greatly appreciated, because it's a big undertaking. What is that? Land unfold, yeah. Fund, there's our legal fund. Let's see what this could be. Dun 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 dun. How about duo? Right. How about fond? One more round. Oh, undo. That would be undo. That was an easy one. Was that the daily? Did we do the daily? Was that the daily? It didn't seem like the daily. I don't think we did the daily, did we? We did. It didn't seem like the daily. If you don't, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, look who's here. Julianne. Where have you been? Oh my gosh. We've been really missing you. And guess what? I've heard from Jeanette too. Jeanette is okay. We were worried about Jeanette, but she said there's something that came up in, her life off of YouTube. Unexpected, she had to take care of. She hasn't been able to be on YouTube, but she will be back, and she will be here. And so we did hear from Jeanette, and look at this. Here comes Julianne. Julianne, oh my gosh. Are you okay? Is everything okay? Just busy. Okay, that's good. I'm glad everything's okay. You're just busy. That will excuse you for. We missed you though. Wow, okay. Hi, 61. Hi, UHP. I don't know if UHP answered me about that other thing. You guys are still. Did you get the Nightbot is dropping the link? Did Nightbot drop the link for the legal fund? I don't see it. Did it drop it? I'll drop it. I don't see it. Here it is. There's the link. I just dropped it. I'm fine, just totally work hammered. I lurk but can't just. Oh, I'm glad you said something tonight because we've been worried. All right. Lindy Uribe, we're really worried about you too. I hope you're okay. Carol Lucy, and make yourselves known. Put in, I know you just lurk a lot. You say hello. Okay, so what did you say, Naria? Nope. And then somebody said something else. I thought I did Dubane and it wasn't there. No, it's not there. That was weird. What did you say? Nar? Nope. don't know why Bragg isn't there. Oh, I have Bragg already. I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay, let's see. Thank you. Done. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much, Julianne Gonzalez. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm glad you had a good year. I'm glad you had a good year. That's that's a good thing. A lot of people had a lot of loss and everything, but it's always good when people have good years. Hopefully this year coming maybe will be a good year for a lot of people, for everyone. I want it to be a good year for everybody. Everybody's been through so much. So many people have been through so much. Okay. All right, I think I am going to go to bed because I'm going to try to do, even though we didn't make our goal, I'm going to do probably cookies tomorrow. I don't know, I'll probably be up early doing it. I was up really early this morning, but I was doing other stuff. I don't know. The best laid plans of mice and men, right? Anyway. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. It was so good to see you, Julianne. Thank you so much for your very generous donation to the legal fund. And everybody have a good night. Love you. God bless. Prayers. I'm falling asleep. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Good night. God bless. Love you guys.